Hey, boys and girls. Welcome to another very mediocre episode of Special Moments with Stevie D. As always, we bring only the worst in comedy and social views that usually repulse most people, and we're happy to do so, no matter how much disdain it brings to clergy, members of the press, and small dogs with very short tails. They're generally the most difficult to please anyway. Of course, it is nothing less than action-packed, mind-boggling, informative, creative, intellectual, thought-provoking, and yet, even better still, nutritional. And everyone knows that I would never recommend any product unless I've tried it first myself. And that's why I'm going to drink this solution of carbonic acid, rat poison, and prune juice just to show everyone that I'm not fooling around. And while I do that, I'm sure everyone will be totally repulsed by the following pieces. Run to your grandmother and check what deodorant she uses. Did I say that right? Maybe you should ask your nanny first. Oh God, I think I have a migraine coming on. Or I think it's maybe on this side. No, maybe it is this side. I don't know, I can't remember anymore. The migraines just keep coming.
And now it's time for the Vegas Strip with Joey Vegas. Cultured commentator Joey Vegas strips down the events of our times to their bare essentials as only Joey can. Hey, Joey, I'm feeling ennui about my role in an industrial society. What do you recommend?
Well, I recommend maybe getting on your cell phone and going to maybe your favorite news website and say you type in a question about space. And so you do that and you kick back on your sofa and you watch some television. And I would say if you did that, you might start thinking about a joke and you say, oh, do you know a joke? And you say, what do you call a pile of kittens? And you say, oh, you say, I don't know. And probably on television, you might hear them say, oh, you call it a mountain, you call it a mountain, you call it a mountain. And so, so there, where your subscription was ran out and you just can't continue to change the passwords anymore. They won't let you.
Hey, everybody. Thanks for tuning in again tonight. Don't mind the demonstrators outside. It was organized by my ex-mother-in-law, number 3, I think. Yeah, that sounds like her MO, all right. But anyway, you've probably noticed that I look a bit leaner these days. Well, you're right. I have lost a few pounds recently, and I'll let you in on a little secret. Basically, since I've been eating Dobbins dogs, I've lost an entire waist size. Actually, 3 waist sizes. Just a couple of months ago, I weighed in at 275 pounds. Oh, it was really bad. I was even hiding jelly donuts under my bed at night in case of panic attacks. But since I started having Dobbins dogs shipped to me in my undisclosed temporary residence, I'm eating well and losing weight. And my sex drive is through the roof. Not now, baby, I'm working, all right? Yeah, I know it's a very sexy dress. I don't even know her, but she's crazy for the Dobbins dog. Oh, that's a Freudian slip. No, but seriously, I'm eating well. I feel great. No indigestion problems whatsoever. All because of the Dobbins dog. Straight out of Erie, PA. That's Pennsylvania, by the way, baby. As for Keith, he'll take care of you. I gotta go. I'll be right back. Enjoy.
And thank you, celebrity spokesperson Steve Gutenberg, for that inspirational anecdote on how Ryan Seacrest made you the important and influential kingmaker you are today.
Hi, if you're just joining us, I'm Gia Hamilton.
And I'm Volkar Schlondorf of the Newport Schlondorfs, and this is another fun-filled fact about Ryan. Hey, Gia, did you know that Martin Luther King was born in Atlanta?
He was a true American hero, an icon of the civil rights movement. So important was he that he has a national holiday named after him.
I know another American hero, also born in Atlanta, who should have a national holiday as well.
You don't mean...
Wait for it. Ryan Seacrest.
I knew it. Okay. Who would you say is the most famous graduate of the University of Georgia?
Wouldn't that be Wayne Knight Newman from TV Seinfeld? Aside from him and long-running Inside Edition host Deborah Norville, I can't think of another famous. Wait a minute. You don't mean.
That's right, Ryan Seacrest.
I was totally going to say Ryan Seacrest.
Dick Clark, host of the American Bandstand and ABC's Dick Clark's New Year's Rocking Eve, was one of our greatest talentless icons. Yet, he knew when his time in this mortal coil was finite, who is the only other vapid icon, equally talentless, he could pass the mantle of responsibility to?
Melissa Rivers?
No, Ryan Seacrest.
Wow, I totally didn't see that coming. Hey, let's check in with correspondent Philip Beasley, who's on Ryan Watch duty. Phil, what's the latest from Ryan Watch?
I am currently residing in his cat supply closet. It sounded like he and possibly old flame Julianne Hough went out for tacos. It could be sushi and it might not be her. We just can't be sure. This is Philip Beasley, live from Ryan Seacrest cat supply closet.
Okay, let's look at how Ryan Seacrest shaped world history. Oh, wait a minute. I'm getting word from our director that there is breaking news.
Is it about Ryan?
No, this time it's non-Ryan Seacrest news. Oh, something about war is declared.
But not Ryan. Just want to prepare the viewers.
Huh. Now, let's pivot to a more serious topic. Ryan Seacrest's body of work.
What about the breaking news about war you were just saying?
War, schmore. We're talking about Ryan Seacrest. Now, let's talk about two of the most influential films in American cinema, Citizen Kane and The Godfather. Like Ryan Seacrest, they each influenced a generation of artists and thinkers.
Was he in those movies? Because I've never heard of them.
He wasn't, but should have been. Wait, you've never heard of Citizen Kane or The Godfather?
Is The Godfather one of those religious shows on the Christian Broadcast Network?
Oh, I'm sorry to cut you off, Volker, but I'm getting word from our director that we will be fired and replaced by the weekend guy if we don't cut to this breaking news story. I'm afraid we have to cut to the breaking news about war being declared or some non-Ryan Seacrest event. So, here's the story, which is important, I guess.
And now it's time for the Vegas Strip with Joey Vegas. Culture commentator Joey Vegas strips down the events of our times to their bare essentials, as only Joey can. Hey, Joey, is there life after death?
Oh, so you must be talking about the night of the Hooksbury. It was a night happened. It was a life after death incident. It was great musicians came through and they were whispering to if we were just talking in front of Ryan Seacrest's cat closet, and we were, and we played a little bit of poker in there, and I would say Ryan didn't bother us at all. He was downstairs just maybe I think he was watching a movie or something, and has nothing, or it's not comparable to, I would say, was Kalen or something like that living with him. I was just there for a day, and somebody on Craigslist was asking questions about stuff, and they said, "Oh, you can't do that," and everybody had to leave real quick.
Rolling now? Okay. Good evening, citizens of Bergtown. The Town Council's monthly meeting for the public will now begin. The autonomous chartered community of Bergtown, established in 1874 with a current population of 15,345 persons, invites members of the community to participate in the council's affairs. In attendance for tonight's meeting are council members Mary Barlow and Carl Getzloff, as well as our town secretary, Zach Rainey, who has graciously volunteered to record the minutes for tonight's meeting. Being that our regular recorder is out due to a thresher accident, let me just state for the record, to that end, we hope that he makes a speedy recovery. I now call to order tonight's meeting. Zach, would you please begin by reading the minutes from the last meeting?
Sure. So Town Administrator Mark Fletcher began the meetings by asking to have the minutes read, from the previous meeting. All business was concluded except for the Mellonville bus races and the details for the upcoming Founder's Day Parade, which were tabled until the next meeting, which is now.
All right, thank you, Zach. Would you please begin tonight's forum by reading the agenda for today?
Certainly. Item number 1, the distribution of the windfall profits due to the sale of Old Man Bundy's property to Boeing Aerospace. After taxes and administrative fees, the Township of Bergtown will stand to profit $4,839,072.
All right, thank you, Zach. Now, since we usually only get about a half a dozen people here on any given night, I can see all the Zoom seats are filled, which tells me that most of you have a suggestion on how to spend the profit. Now, as this is a serious amount of money for our town, the town council has proposed using the money to improve the community. However, many of you have indicated you do not find that acceptable and have other ideas on how to spend it. Everyone in attendance will be given an opportunity to be heard per our town's founding charter, which I am required to read out loud. Excuse me. If 5 God-fearing men of just stature and good New England common sense find fault in the town's reconciliation of said grievance, heretofore now challenged by citizens good and true. Folks, what that means is that we have to conduct an open forum to listen to everyone's ideas. Please show a sign of raised hands if anyone has a question regarding the bus races or the Founder's Day Parade. Nobody? All right. I see we have no questions on that. Does anyone have a question or comment about the town's windfall? All right, we normally have everyone line up behind the microphone, but because of COVID restrictions, we are going to assign a number to each Zoom speaker. And before we proceed, I know you all have what you think are good ideas, but let me remind you that Main Street is lined with hubcaps and engine parts due to potholes so large that they can seriously damage your car. In addition to that, Fest Parker Elementary School is missing its south-facing wall, and the children must abandon the classroom often because the afternoon sun raises the temperature to 120 degrees. Speaker number 1 will be Star Child Moon Unit with the Broccoli First Coalition for Justice and Empowerment. Star Child.
Good evening. I'm Star Child Moon Unit, CEO, COO, and CFO of the Broccoli First Coalition for Justice and Empowerment. Do you know how much murder Boeing causes? Because have you ever seen an aspiring immigrant or refugee child mutilated by American aerospace technology? Because do you want that blood money on your hands? Okay. I think what we should do is get one of those big novelty checks that they give to the Publishers Clearing Sweepstakes House winners, showing the windfall amount. Then each of us uses a vial of our own blood to cover the check, indicating our protest against their phallically inspired hatred of those who yearn to be free. Then we send it to the pigs who think they can buy us with their blood money. One tin soldier rides again. Attica! Attica! Attica!
Does anyone have a question about how to spend the money which doesn't require us spilling our own blood?
Good evening. My name is Bartholomew Oliver, and I'm 85 years old. I've lived in Bergtown my whole life. In fact, I remember when there was an actual creek behind the Morgan Brothers Creekside Market. That was before they filled it in to make the parking lot. In fact, I remember when they finished the parking lot and they installed the stoplight at Main and Walnut Street. Before then, it was only a 4-way stop. That's a true story.
Bart, do you have a question?
No, I do not. They shushed me at the VFW Hall. They shushed me again at the Grange Hall pancake breakfast, and I will not be silenced. I've never been one for popularity, so I wanted to make a statement Kids today don't understand the value of a dollar. They think they can listen to their bebop on their hi-fis and eat moon pies and sass off.
Okay, Bart, we warned you about this the last town hall meeting. If you are not going to comment on the agenda items, then you have to let other people speak. Do we have the next person yet?
Yes, I have one question, and only one question.
Thank you, Joe. What's your question?
What are the top 50 ideas which have been submitted so far? Because I have 135 more, such as water slide at the old fairgrounds, or paintball course next to the retirement home, or old people love paintball. Like I said, I have only one question.
Okay, Joe, that was more than one question. Feel free to submit your other 133 suggestions to Zach, and he'll see that they get submitted with the rest of them.
I'm telling you, a dressage equestrian event center would quadruple the town's budget in 38 years. Think about it.
Thank you, Joe. All right, Zach, who's our next speaker?
Yes, we have Esther Ostro asked if she could speak next. She has to get back to preparing the food for tomorrow's 4-H fish fry.
All right, go ahead.
Oh, thank you. We, the kitchen staff for the Knights of Columbus meeting hall, suggest that the money be spent on submitting an application to host next year's International Quilting Bee and building a state-of-the-art yarn pavilion for all year round. It should be exciting, as this is the first year the Russian delegation will get to use their previously banned steroid-enhanced super yarn. Studies have shown that quilting helps fight crime, reduces teen mischief, and contributes to promoting wholesome values.
Okay, thank you, Esther. We're going to take a 5-minute recess. Normally, we offer orangeade and Keebler cookies. So for now, we're just going to zoom out until 5 minutes from now.
Okay. Hey, everybody. Thanks for tuning in tonight. Please don't let the police barricades outside scare anyone. You know, we live in one of the most violent places and times in history. Out of control gun violence and mass shootings. I don't know what the world is coming to. Listen to this. I've got this buddy whose brother-in-law's neighbor's co-worker was walking down the street one day when this maniac jumps out of a third-story window with a parachute and starts shooting everyone. Luckily, the guy was legally blind, so he couldn't really see anyone. But that's beside the point. The point is, we are Americans, and we shouldn't have to live like this. No modern civilized nation on earth like ours should accept the lawlessness and pandemonium. Something needs to be done about this plague on our country. Therefore, we need to make sure everyone in this country is armed. Every single one, as soon as they're able to carry a gun. It will solve the rising crime problem like that. Aren't we the country of George Washington and Dolly Madison? Then why should we have to live in such subhuman conditions? If I'm walking down the street and some guy gets out of line, I'm gonna let him have it. I mean, once he breaks the law or something, you know. That's my right, and that's what is right. And it feels good, too. I'm not saying we have to shoot everyone, just the bad people who are un-American. On-campus school shooters? Arm those kids. They're smart, they'll know what to do. 5-year-olds can carry a small but deadly piece to kick some butt, and that will end school shootings. Nothing's going to take care of things better than to have a few million armed citizens roaming the streets ready to put down insurrection at a moment's notice, just like the Minutemen did. Everyone in this country should be required to have at least 10 guns. I mean, I'd break it up with about 4 semi-automatic high-powered pieces and then a few small to medium-sized handguns, and a .38 has to be a part of anyone's real collection. Otherwise, it would be strictly amateur. And that's not even worth putting into the conversation. A nice shotgun to scare off the neighbors and shoot crow. But that's the bird, not the native. We can't do that anymore. But seriously, it makes a lot of sense. And that's exactly what we're lacking in this country: common sense and liberty. Don't think of yourselves, think of all the starving children. A gun would give them a purpose in life, make them responsible. I know a lot of people who tried to get a dog, but the adoption process was way too long. But to get a gun, think of the pride and excitement it would give to someone for their birthday. Hey, be a patriotic American and give someone a gun today.
Hello, I'm Yuri Konstantin Kropotkin. How many times has this happened to you? You're a stateless actor looking to sabotage a business or otherwise destabilize a government by hacking their computer systems. But they have firewalls and other forms of security you can't seem to get around. Since sure you've tried hiring incel shut-ins who still in their mom's basement, but they get busted for stalking cheerleaders, and that leaves you with two options: hire terrorists or Crazy Yuri's Hacky Shack. At Crazy Yuri, you get the personal touch with your cybercrime because we put the I in criminal. Whether you're trying to cripple production in meat plant or shut down an oil pipeline, you can count on Crazy Yuri because we don't hire former gamers or MIT dropouts who need drug money. All of our hackers have been trained, exposed, and kicked out of Russian military computer warfare divisions for crimes against state. And you have to do something pretty bad to be too evil in Vladimir Putin's Russia. We have only the finest chain-smoking 20-somethings with no future. And since they like their kneecaps, they work for me. But you're probably asking, what if it gets traced back to you and the host country cracks down? This is a legitimate question. Except I'm in Russia, and in Russia, they only crack down if you're not criminal. Try helping people, you get tossed into Gulag. Commit crimes against the West, you get your own state-sponsored industry. And a purple satin dress shirt. It's what all the oligarchs are wearing these days. That's why we can charge the lowest prices. Because we don't pay taxes, unless you count handing over a piece of ransom to Russian government for to keep lights on and families alive. For all your destabilizing needs, go to Crazy Yuri's Hacky Shack. Because you don't want to see your Stuxnet become a Stuxnet. I thought that was a good line. That line works. And now it's time for the Vegas Strip with Joey Vegas. Culture commentator Joey Vegas strips down the events of our times to their bare essentials, as only Joey can. Hey, Joey, are different peanut butters really different?
Yes, and it be a test of their time is to the time that you are a child and you say, I don't like peanut butter and jelly. I don't like the peanut butter and jelly sandwich. I don't want one. But you have to, at that point, is where you have to change it. And you say, yes, there are two different kinds. There is a flavor that has peanuts in it, there's actual peanuts. There's actual something there. You know, there's actual crunch that you are able to eat. And there is the creamy one that is really, really well. It's really, it gets stuck up in your mouth. And when you are trying to wash it down with your milk, you know, it goes together. Like they say, there is, you know, a difference between your peanut butter. There is the crunchy kind, the kind you crunch and you wash it down with a glass of milk. And there's the other kind that you wash it down with orange juice. They don't know that. OJ. Yeah.
In the interest of presenting opposing viewpoints to our editorials, Channel 3 invites members of the community to share their point of view. Tonight, local businessman Floyd R. Turbo shares his response to last night's editorial on the county's water reclamation upgrades.
Thank you. I'm Floyd R. Turbo, owner of Pushpins on Maple Street. If you want to buy something other than Pushpins, you have to go somewhere else. Last night's editorial on upgrades to the county's water reclamation plant is nothing more than a woke Antifa giveaway to illegals who fund Planned Parenthood. When they say we need water to live, I say, who is they? Some hacky sack playing hipster who thinks he's better than me because he understands the download instructions for the latest version of Call of Duty? To that I say, pure balderdash. Balderdash, I say. These rapscallions and ne'er-do-wells know nothing of the value of a dollar. I earned my money the traditional old-fashioned way most Americans do, through inheriting my father's vast fortune, and I fought and scratched for every penny I inherited. The sweat on my brow didn't come from doing wheelies at the skate park. It's from the exhausting rote and routine of signing financial documents for an army of high-priced law firms. Do you know what a chore that is? And now these same pizza shop pedophiles want to make us more atheistic by claiming the current water system is over 50 years old and will start disintegrating if it's not rebuilt. You know who else liked to rebuild crumbling water distribution systems? Hugo Chavez. In fact, he's still doing it, that and interfering with our recent elections. To recap, water reclamation projects equals teaching critical race theory and MS-13 in our preschools. This has been Floyd R. Turbo, end transmission.
Thank you and good night. Was I supposed to say anything else? Oh, right. There's a closing monologue that goes with it. I just don't remember it. Oh, yeah, it's printed on the screen right here in front of me. Duh. So, well, I don't read Lithuanian, but this actually looks like it's English. Who wrote this? Don't these darn assistants know that I can't read anything that's too long or complicated? Anyway, like snow peas. I never eat them or say the word after dark. It's just above my level of intelligence and my less than tolerant hygiene care. And while we're on that topic, I need to tell everyone that I just received notification that the FCC has reviewed our case and we will have at least 2 additional minutes of airtime tonight. Despite my calling the head of NBC's wife a fat, odorous, bad hairdresser. I think that's what I said, but I'm not sure I was speaking English. I often speak backwards while swimming in the upper Great Lakes region.